Hello. Today we are prepping for the roof raise, and say hi, baby.
Oh, hi.
Patrick is outside. Well, he's mostly outside. He's working on welding the rib extensions that are going to be welded onto these ribs. We're calling these ribs, to raise the roof by a foot. And I am in here cleaning the ribs off. So you'll see this one's already been done. So we took, there's like a little bit of trim here, and we cut that off on each side and then sanded it down so that we'll be able to weld in all of these areas. So I'm about to do that on all of the ribs, and I'm gonna do it just using the angle grinder. I'll show you. So I'm using this angle grinder, starting just with the cutting wheel, and that'll cut off most of that trim, and then we'll use this to sand things down. So we'll see how it goes. I'll give you an update in a little bit. Hi, Kobe. I had to go put Patrick's shirt on because I was getting sparks all over my skin. So let's try it this way and see what happens. Baby, show us what you're doing.
This is my design for the rib extension, that when we cut here and lift it up 12 inches, we'll put this in right here, here.
So the rib will sit, show us how the rib will sit.
So this bottom edge of theirs will be cut, and it'll go up. And then it should fit in right there and sit right on top of that.
So from the bottom to that thing you were just tapping is 12 inches,
it's
right?
12 inches, yeah.
Okay.
And then these side pieces will sort of hold on to the edge like that, and then we can weld it. We have a lot more area to weld on, and it's over-engineered, but I'm not comfortable yet with my welding skills to ensure that what we put in here will hold properly. So I over-engineered it. So what?
So yeah, so hold it up there again so we can see.
It'll be sort of like that.
That's so cool. So it'll sit on top of that little ledge.
Yep.
It'll be all welded on there.
Yep.
And then this will sit on this bottom edge and be welded on there.
Yeah.
And that is 12 inches.
From here to here.
And so we've got 4 more inches above that.
To give me some room to...
For welding.
Yeah. If it's too much, cut it off. It's not a big deal. This is the first one, so...
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
I got some flat bar that we're going to weld on to the top here to sort of cover this up and enclose it because we don't want any water getting in here. So, but it's just tacked right now. This is the first one, and I wanted to test it, and I'm a little bit excited because I was scared to death and worried it wouldn't work out.
Babe, it looks awesome.
Thank you.
I love it. High five.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you. All right.
What are you doing?
Carry on. I'm not cleaning them off yet.
Correct? You're just
So,
cutting off little bits?
I'm just cutting off these bits here. And I did it there, and I did it on that one, and now I'm doing it on these two, and then I'm gonna go and do it on just the ones that we're gonna have our jack on first, and then I'll go back and do all the other ones.
Sounds good.
I figured priorities, right?
Sounds like a plan. Alright, I'm gonna try and run a few beads.
Alright, so it's day 2 of me trying to clean off the ribs here. And this is the one that we've done completely, where we've cleaned off all the edges and sanded it down so it's ready for us to weld. I'll show you one that's not been done at all. So you'll see that there's all this messy stuff here. And when we put the rib extensions in, we need all that to be clean. We need it to be welded down. So yesterday I was using the angle grinder here with a 7-inch cutoff wheel, and it was doing fine for a while. I had worked on 3 of the ribs and it was fine, and then I went to the next one and I changed my technique just a tiny bit, and the angle grinder just like literally jumped out of my hands, and luckily it didn't cut me open. It cut me a little bit in a couple spots and bruised me a little bit, but luckily I was wearing a jacket, so it protected my arms, but that was kind of terrifying. So anyway, today I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt, I'm wearing my overalls and shoes, and also the reason I'm wearing this mask is because I realized yesterday that like all of the rubber that we're cutting through, it's creating a lot of really gross chemicals in the air. And there was like black coming out of my nose last night in the shower, which was really gross. So anyway, that's why you see me wearing this this mask, and I've got my face shield and all that to try to protect myself. But the best thing is that Patrick gave me a pointer that has made things go much smoother already today. And it's basically that like I should not be putting pressure on this blade. I should just sit it. I should just like have it lightly touch the metal or whatever surface I'm cutting and let it cut through at its own pace. So I notice that when I do that, it doesn't buck or try to kick back at all. And it's going a lot smoother. It's a little bit slower, but it's, you know, less dangerous. So that's really good. So I'm gonna show me cutting this one here, this messy one that I just showed you. So you can see what it's like. So I start by measuring 8 inches and putting a little notch where 8 inches is, because that's how high up we want to cut this material off. So put the angle grinder there, and I do that on each side. And I'm really just eyeballing it. It's not, doesn't have to be perfect. Then I just put the blade up against this spot. Here, I'll show you. So I will turn this on, and I just kind of lay the blade here, let it work up and down until it gets through this metal. And I just take my time with it. So hopefully it'll work better than it did yesterday. Okay, so it looks like I've got a system that's working, and it's not trying to cut my legs or arms off. So I'm going to continue this, and I'll give you all an update in a little bit. Alright, so we've got to this place where I have cleaned off all of the, basically cleaned off all this part, this edging that was sticking out, just enough so that we can weld on the rib extensions. So now I'm about to go around and sand all this down so it's bare metal. So it'll end up looking like this one right here, where we've got everything sanded all the way down. And I'll take you out and show you what Patrick's up to. He has been working on actually building the rib extensions, and he's gotten really far today, so I want to give you a little update on what he's up to. Hi, baby.
Hi, baby.
So I was telling everybody that you are building the rib extensions. So this is a complete one, and we've kind of talked about, you know, how these are going to work before, but basically from the bottom here to the top here is 12 inches. The ribs that currently exist in the bus will sit here, then we'll weld all around here, and then this will sit on the horizontal beam, and we will weld here as well. So show people what you've been up to today.
It'll be sitting like that.
Yeah.
And that'll be the extension. That's where we're going to lift. I've just been cutting all the pieces. This was the first one I built, and I built this. I made this. I fabricated this. First off, just so I would make sure I'd have a system. I'd know what I was doing. And we
usually do it wrong the first time, but this time it actually was perfect the first try. So.
The welds aren't exactly perfect, but you know, it is what
everything
it is.
else looks
but
good.
The rib is good. The extension is good. I was very pleased with that. So what I decided to do then is just to cut all the pieces I need for the rest of them, and got that done.
And I have to say, just a little aside here, we started this bus build with only battery operated power tools, and over time we've been accumulating plug-in power tools, and I'll tell you, like, the plug-in power tools are the way to go. They are all so much more powerful and faster and stronger. So he's been using
most things like this is what they are.
Where's the, is it gone?
Oh, it's in there.
Oh.
It's
Oh yeah, so he's been using this circular saw today, and it was really cheap. It was like 45 bucks at Harbor Freight. We just went and picked that up yesterday, and it made a huge difference, didn't it?
It certainly did. Now, I had a jig all set up so I could cut these pieces. So I'd slide it in here, I'd measure, use this as a fence for the jigsaw, but there was an issue with this little piece of metal and something, and anyway, cutting it, it wasn't square. It would always be sort of at a bit of an angle when I cut. So I knew it wouldn't be square no matter how much I did. I managed to finagle the fence on the circular saw to compensate for that. But even still, I cut everything bigger than I need it to be. That way, I can do what we're doing here, is I can cut it bigger, and these pieces specifically have to be very precise.
Yeah, because these are the ones that are actually going to be framing this is what the rib's going to sit on, and it's got to be the exact width of that rib so that we can
Yeah,
weld.
give or take like an 1/8 of an inch or a 1/16 of an inch or something like that.
Yeah.
So I cut them bigger, and now I'm just using a flap disc here to and a set of really good calipers to bring it down to just the right length, or just the right width rather. So it'll be the right width to hold it together. These longer pieces, I can. There's quite a bit more tolerance in these ones.
Totally.
But these ones are a little bit more specific.
Yeah. So
So far I got a system.
we're pretty excited because we thought it was going to take him a lot longer to do all this cutting and everything, and he got it all done really
Yeah,
fast this morning.
That circular saw is like cutting through butter.
It's pretty great. So good job, sweetie.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
All right. So I'll take you back inside to show you what I'm going to be doing. So I'm taking the angle grinder, and I am putting this flap disc on it. You know, it's just a sander basically. And so I'm going to be sanding everything down so it is ready to be welded on.